find ourselves in eThekwini as Johnson Kings Park in Durban welcomes the DStv Premiership fixture between Amazulu and Mamelodi Sundowns. Most significantly, a battle of number 1 visiting number 2 in the DStv Premiership. And Sundowns look for a diagonal ball. Morena back into a danger area here and hits the side netting at the second time of asking after a muted appeal for handball against Kewuti.
That switching play there, and chose to keep it alive. I mean, tricky one for Kewuti.
There's a delivery in here, looks dangerous. The recovery by Maduna, but unable to follow up after Rushinda Rek's timely intervention. It's a final touch from Sundowns, which means corner it'll be.
I wonder who is he talking to?
He's talking to the assistant referee on the near side. Cledrin Baloy is getting an earful.
Yeah.
Chance here, and it's a ball that's whipped just wide. Peter Shalulile getting into a grand position, but maybe a little off balance on the turn. Looked to get the shot away, but dragged it ever so slightly wide of Motwa's goal.
It's the run that he makes, the positioning, quick snapshot there, and realized that he was running out of time because they're beginning to put him under pressure.
Riek now. And Morena. A little bit of a loss, but a grand recovery. Here's Mabue again, going down the flank, and doesn't pull out of this challenge with Kewuti. Ball squeezed away, and Ogi gets it back into Sundowns territory before the Riek returns the favour. Free kick Sundowns, and referee Chavani, I think, just wants to have a word here with Benny McCarthy.
No, I think he's not talking.
He's going to give a yellow card to Benny McCarthy here, and he's... oh, don't get too sarcastic, Benny. Benny McCarthy is a particularly emotional individual, but it's because he is just so passionate about the game of football, and that is sometimes misunderstood. Chance here, I think just a little high of Dennis Onyango's goal.
Yes, they can applaud because he needs to do more of that. And if he gets into the right spaces where you have a Sitebe getting involved, pushing up more, then you set up this man who has to improvise in areas like that.
Sitebe clips the heel of Lebusa when he had option down to Skakane on the right. Or even Maduna far left, but tried to go to the man closest to him, and it's Pelele Mthembu. Here he is again, maybe a second chance. Balinge. Amazulu keeping this ball alive nicely, no offside, a shot taken. There's no offside there, but Jenny Chavani spotted something, the whistle went.
Well, he gave it offside.
Well, the offside flag stayed down.
Did he overrule the assistant? What's this? Was there any offside? Good combination play here.
No
I still don't see any offside. I don't see any offside.
And not touched by anybody, no. There's no offside. But I feel he's called for a foul. There's Mulenga again, streaking run on the far side, up against the Riek. He's certainly got the pace to beat the Riek. Maybe not Morena, but Morena is far upfield. Mulenga with a shot, crashes into the woodwork. A follow-up effort here, appeals for handball. It's kept alive. Stebe, will he have the shot? Opts to pass it out. Balinge. Mamelodi Sundowns have pressure eased by the star man in Tembazwane. And now look for a counter. Beautiful work of transition ball forward by Lakay. Shalulile picks out Serino. Return ball left for Zwane. Can't find the finish. Can't find his 10th league goal. But what an exhibition we're seeing between these sides. We finally have shots on target being registered. Sundowns have transition ball to set up the first shot on target for them.
And this is how it happens, because based on the counter attack by Amazulu, it's end-to-end stuff now.
Great chance here, diving header from Maduna, and while he gets a deflection, he puts it just wide of Onyango's goal. But again, the delivery heavily involved. Balinge, Skakane, and the right flank setting up a chance that Maduna just can't finish. It's Mutupa, and then Morena trying to get on the end of it, taken quickly here by Morena. And delivery across could be here. Beautiful save from Motwa. The rebound falls kindly for Sundowns, but not kind enough to tuck away by Shalulile. Mudiba had the first chance, denied by Motwa. Shalulile with a chance to score his 10th league goal. And just wide, as again the goalless scoreline remains.
It's Velimoto with a fine save there. Gift trying to set up his teammate.
Hebe Usutu. They showed faith in Benny McCarthy, and he has more than rewarded their faith. An Amazulu side that are just a few points away from their best ever points haul in professional football. Great chance here through the area, but just beyond the reach of the screaming Majoro, flying up at the back post.
It's that one moment of brilliance and the influence of Memela, who takes the shot. And the Majoro on the far side couldn't just stretch his legs there.
Well, that is the end of this intriguing tie, an enthralling fixture between two sides that are set to be among the champion teams. Amazulu undoubtedly the form team at the moment. They maintain their unbeaten run, they stretch it to 13, but their winning streak has come to an end. But for Mamelodi Sundowns, they remain unbeaten. And while they wanted all 3 points, it's the second consecutive match in which they have failed to score. So Amazulu, 41 points, they remain second, 6 points behind Sundowns, but they are at the moment a point off their record haul, and they're only 23 games into the season.
Lebo, appreciate your time. Congratulations on being voted the man of the match here today.
Thank you very much. Although it wasn't an easy game, you know, we always knew that coming here was going to be a very, very difficult game. And yeah, I mean, we'll take the points away.
What made it so competitive? What made it to be such a difficult game?
I think they also came out, you know, they also wanted to play. They showed that they really, really wanted to play. So, you know, it just wasn't an easy game. Plus, I feel like the turf was a bit demanding as well, you know, but we know that we can always do better. This is not the best of our performances, but yeah, we'll just go back to training and keep on working hard.
Coach Mangoba, appreciate your time, sir. Thoughts, please.
Yeah, man, it was one of those matches. We never really looked very sharp. We hanged in there. We were trying our best to try and catch them in moments where they gave us openings. There was a stage where Kewuti would go up, more especially first half, and looking for the space behind him. And Peter found very good moments. It's just that they were very few and far between. I must also say we're playing against a very good team. We tried to push them as much as we could. Second half, I think we should have had something there at the end. Unfortunately, 3 players, Motupa, Modiba, and Peter in one chance, but all of them, they could not make it count. But what was more important for this match is that if you don't win it, don't lose it. That was the most important thing, because if you are playing against your competitors, make sure that you keep them where they are. We still have two games in hand against them, and we still have a long way to go to see what we can get going forward. But I must say Benny has done a lot of good work with this team. They are working very hard. They're closing us down in some moments where they could have punished us with some counter-pressing. But I think it's also beginning to show, man. We've played far too many matches in a very short space of time. I think the last time they played, that's when we were playing Belustad from Algeria. And we have played 3 games more in the space. And we are coming to them at the back of those 3 games with an extra time. It's beginning to show it's the truth. But we are happy that we're still keeping our clean sheet when it matters most, and make sure that we don't lose games easily. And that is the most encouraging part.
You are, at least until now, the top scorers in this league. When you finish a half, both teams with no shots on target.
I did not hear that one.
I'm talking shots on target. You are the top scoring team, at least at this point in our league. And when we finish a half, both teams, 45 minutes, 0 shots on target.
Yeah, no, to be honest, I was even surprised with how did it happen. And I could see it coming, because first 20 minutes, no shot at goal. Sundowns is not like that. And we always push people very hard, but it was just not happening. Our sharpness was not at the right level. But one must also say this pitch is also very better. The pitch is also not helping in the type of football that we play, because when you want to play on the ground, it's never really easy. But be that as it may, we were playing against a very good team that was so resilient in trying not to give us opportunities behind their defense. First half, they were sitting more back and looking to break on counter-attacks, and they looked very dangerous in those moments. But we managed to have a better rest defense. Our counter-pressing also helps. And that's why I think Lebu got the man of the match, because he worked very hard in breaking down their attacks and making sure that he gives us an edge all the time. But we never take it for granted. It was a very tough match against a team that is on the rise and a team that is doing very well. We must give them credit when it's true.
Would you take a point then in that situation?
We said it to the players: if we don't win it, don't lose it. And yeah, this is the stage where we normally go for that route, when, more especially when we are playing against competitors, that if we are not winning it, let's not lose it. And it puts us where we want to be if we don't lose it, and we are happy with that.
Coach Benny, thank you so much for your time, sir. Thoughts, please?
Thank you, Bra Pooms, for having me, first of all. Yeah, no, very tough game, very tough. Like I told you, it's going to be a very technical game between the two teams. But like I said, also, we're the home team, and we're not going to make it easy for anyone to just come at our home and dictate the play. And yeah, we took the fight to them. But I think it's a very entertaining 0-0 draw that we've seen in the league so far. Both teams really wanting to go for it. Both teams giving a real good credit of the league, where the league have gone and where the league is at the moment. It was two strong teams. As much as they've controlled some parts of the game, I feel as a home team coach, I feel we probably had the better options, the better opportunities in the game. If we were a little bit more clinical, and if we were precise with our end product, I think we could have gotten joy and all 3 points, but it wasn't to be. But overall, very happy with the attitude, the performance, and also of my players not backing down and lying over. And I heard before the game it was saying teams like to park the bus. So yeah, I think it was a good display of football, entertaining, and the opposition who thinks that everybody must, bow down or respect them for that. We ended up going for it, and we were just unfortunate. But I have to settle for a point. But
your players' work ethic, I feel like anyone who plays against you must be prepared to try and match that, because they work.
You get my brother?
I'll bring him in, Penny. I'll bring him in, because he's here, we are working. He's here, we are working. That's why Benny was laughing. Dennis Onyango has taken a position here by camera 5. And
the jokester. Yeah, Brapum, no, like I said, I think that was the mentality change that we installed when we walked through the door at Amazulu. That we need to be competitive with each other, first of all, in trainings. And then when we come to matches, if you get an opportunity to start, then you got to show, you got to make it extremely difficult for your teammate to get back into the side. So I think today's display just shows the hunger and desire that these players have to play football, to be able to work at that intensity for 90 minutes and more. It's commendable, and I can only praise them for what they've done so far. But again, I'm gonna turn back to the game. Where I feel, we up against the champions. We're up against the champions, but also a message to everybody that the Amazulu team has the hunger to succeed. They have the desire, and then they have the mentality on top of that. So we're going to do whatever we need to do. But for next season, then it will be an even race. We will all start at the start, and not someone comes in halfway through the season, and that's so yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited for what's ahead, especially after today's performance.